Hey, welcome back. Slay the princess. Woo! I'm wearing my unis annis. I mean, it's November, so like, of course I'm gonna wear my unis annis. My unis annis stuff. I have a lanyard too somewhere. It's in a drawer somewhere. Okay, so today, my challenge, the Chron challenge today is no TED Talks. No TED Talks. We're gonna see how well I do. Let's just start the game. Any theorizing, basically, pretty much think the exact same thing that I've been thinking so far, so we're gonna keep moving. The last one that we encountered was the amalgamation.
You're on a path in the woods, and in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
I love that. Okay, so I also think last time the game was a little too loud, so we're gonna try to turn that down. Hopefully this is the correct volume, yeah? Okay, let's go.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Okay, so this is a new run. What should we do today? End of the world, what are you talking about? We already played with that. If you consider, maybe we did that. Killing the princess seems kind of bad. Yeah, can't someone else do it? We went that route, that was fun. I liked that. That was the last one we did. The contrarian. Alright, so we haven't done the reward. Also, I haven't been able to say sweet. I've always wanted to awful monarch. You know what? Guys, today is the day. Sweet! I've always wanted to awful monarch.
That's the spirit.
Let's do it. I've been looking forward to this
You
answer
make your way
choice.
up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning, before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop.
Blah, blah,
We're not
blah.
going to go through with this, right?
Oh.
She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them.
So the voice of the hero stays. Doesn't matter what I do, voice of the hero is always... It's
Ignore
always
him.
going to come up.
He doesn't know what he's talking about.
I'm going to proceed to the cabin. Tra-la-la, I get to slay a monarch. Da-da-da, we're going to slay a monarch.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare.
It goes
The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust.
Okay.
The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade.
Was it always at the edge of the table? I'm just curious. Because I feel like it was in the middle before. Whatever, it's fine.
The blade is your implement.
Alright, we're going to take the blade.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
I mean, of course. I want to off monarch. Yee-dee-dee.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place.
Okay.
Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
Is that different?
She sounds dangerous.
Okay, no, that's the
It's
usual
almost as
one.
if she's the one in charge down here.
Okay, so that's the usual one when we
Don't let
take
it
the
fool
little
you.
stabby stab.
It's all part of the manipulation.
Hi!
Don't be a stranger.
No, I'm
It's been
not.
so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down.
You walk down the stairs.
This is the way we're playing
and lock
today.
eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the bed. She's so coldly beautiful. Focus on the task at hand.
Okay, task at
And
hand.
there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
Sure am. Oh, what? No way, why would you even think that? You know what? Here we are. Okay, yeah, you got me.
That isn't a good idea. Just drop the knife, and maybe the two of us can talk things out.
Nah.
She's right, we shouldn't. We should just drop the blade.
Interesting, the hero is not going along with me. So the hero is usually really impressionable. Like, whatever new voice I take on, the hero's like, well, I guess, that's fine. Well, okay, I guess maybe. You know, he just kind of goes with it, which I find interesting, but he's not going with it today.
Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster. Killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
Hang on. If I say tighten my grip, I'm being very flippant today. Which one's gonna be the most fun? Well, we did always want to offer monarch, so let's go.
You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip on the blade.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me?
No, not really.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steal your...
Oh? No talking then? I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason.
Where's that
right?
line?
And if that night so, you should just drop it.
Sorry, I'm going a little
She's
fast. We've
armed.
already done this part.
If you hesitate now, it'll be too late.
What if she isn't bluffing? What if she kills us? Are you sure she's not armed? I'm sorry, can we just talk? I want to be flippant, but I'm still wanting to be like, yeah, let's kill the princess. Are we sure she's not armed? Would be like fearful, right? Well, I'm not dropping the blade.
Then I'm not talking to you.
Okay. Fine then. I guess we're at an impasse. Squint at the princess while holding on to the blade. What does that even do? What are you doing? Just squint at princess. What? Okay. Fine then. We're at an impasse.
I guess we are.
For the love of everything, just slay her already.
No, I'm not having fun.
Or drop the blade. Do something.
No. Stare at the
You
princess.
stare at the princess, squinting fiercely.
What that's supposed to accomplish?
She squints back.
I think the narrator's kind of getting annoyed.
The two of you are gonna do this forever, aren't you?
Yes.
You'll have to blink eventually. Just make a choice.
But this route. You know what? I'm gonna drop a blade.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face. Unarmed. We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
Okay. Sorry, I have a lot of coughs today.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
Yeah, it's pretty awkward. A relationship? Are you coming on to me? You know what? No, I'm probably gonna answer that one. How would I get you out of here? I'm here because you're supposed to end the world. There's people out there who think you're going to end the world. What do you have to say about that? You know what? A relationship. Are you coming on to me?
Don't jump to any weird conclusions. We're two people who have met each other. By definition, we have a relationship.
Very true. And I'm sorry. I'm trying to be as discreet as possible in regards to it, but I had to get a cough drop because I just kept coughing. I'm not sick. It's just I think all the mixture between there's a lot of pollen in the air right now and and like the change in temperature, it just does things to my throat and I go, eh. Well, do you know why I'm here to kill you?
Do you?
You're apparently going to end the world. I know what I've been told. Whether or not I believe it is entirely a different matter.
So, you're not going to share? How pointless. If you want to talk, I'll talk. But this isn't talking.
I take it she doesn't know. I'm either gonna do here because you're supposed to end the world, or because there are people. I'm just gonna be straight about it.
Don't just tell her that.
That's cute. Do you believe that? Do you think I'm some sort of monster?
I mean, when you make that face at me, yes.
If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm allegedly so dangerous?
Deflect. What are you going to do if I let you out of here? I've been told enough. I was hoping you'd tell me. No, I'm sure they have their reasons for keeping that information secret from me. No, and if I'm being honest, I'm more inclined to trust you than I'm inclined to trust them. This is true.
Sooner or later, you'll understand that I have your best interests at heart.
No.
Hopefully sooner.
How sweet. Now be a pal and help me get out of here, would you? We could figure out how to deal with them after I'm free.
Actually, I've changed my mind. I don't trust you. I'm very... I wonder if there's like a wishy-washy type personality. Because I came in with the knife. Sweet, I went off a monarch. And then I dropped it after tightening my grip. And then if I go back and slay her, I'm really curious what kind of voice I'll get. It's certainly one that doesn't fit me usually making that kind of decision, but I know I need to unlock different versions of her, and I think that would unlock another version of me. Yeah, let's go with it. Let's see what happens.
Doubt, unfortunately, clouds your thoughts as you attempt to run her through. A moment of distraction and hesitation is all she needed to sidestep your thrust and deliver a catastrophic blow to your jaw.
Okay.
It feels like you've been hit with a sledgehammer. You can feel bone grinding on bone where your jaw has been fractured. Holy shit, that hurts! Though she's unarmed.
We've been through
The
this.
shock of that first strike is enough to
before.
stagger you. Your blade slashes through the air
Been here
again and
before.
again. We can still turn this around.
She's so cool. Oh, can't finish the job. Fully unlocking the basement. I think I'm just gonna give up. Well, hang on. I'm gonna be a coward. Yeah. I mean, giving up is a little bit more courageous than just fleeing. Be a coward. I'm gonna do a whole bunch of things that I don't usually do. There's none of these choices really fit me as a person, like myself, Chron. They're very interesting to see. So I want to see what kind of stuff I get.
Are you serious? It's a good idea. We've taken some bad hits, but we've dealt some too. She has to be feeling it more than we are. Let's regroup upstairs. If we're lucky, maybe she'll just bleed out. Fine. You make a mad dash to the basement stairs, the princess's chains rattling as she tries to chase you, but pulling taut much too soon for her to catch up.
Do you really think you can just walk out of here?
She steps towards you, ignoring her chains. They creak and strain as she pulls against them until finally they break. The links clatter to the floor, useless.
She's so cool.
She's free. Hurry. You push your broken body as she closes in and just barely manage to pass the threshold of the basement doorway before she catches up to you. You close the basement door, locking it behind you and quickly barricading it with the heavy wooden table that once held the blade. Okay, we can make this work. She has an awful wound and we have all the time in the world. Playing jailkeeper for a while might make things a little easier. You settle in against the far wall to watch the basement door.
Jailkeeper, huh? Ooh, my little stabby is a little bloody blood.
It isn't long before you start to drift off, your eyelids heavy with fatigue. But sleep doesn't come. Instead, your rest is broken by a piercing, wailing voice calling out to you from the other side of the door.
I know you're still there. Why don't you make things easier on yourself and let me out? It's not like this little door will hold for very long anyways. But it's probably a good idea to try to get back on my good side.
She sounds terrifying. Like she's less like the princess you saw and more like something out of a nightmare.
This is interesting. You turn that down just a
As she
bit.
violently rattles the door, you do your best to shut her out of your mind.
When I get out of here, I'm going to pick you apart piece by piece. I won't forget what you did, and I'll never forgive it. You don't know the kind of enemy you've made tonight.
It doesn't sound like she's getting any weaker.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
Threaten me all you want. All it does is ease my guilty conscience. I mean, so all of that was just an act, wasn't it? You're not really innocent or harmless. You're not even a princess, you're a monster. Ignore and go to sleep. Huh.
These aren't threats. These are promises. Sooner or later, you're going to have to sleep. And I'll make sure you never see the light of day again.
Oh, I mean, considering I keep waking up.
You put the princess's threats out of your mind as best you can and huddle up against the wall. You jolt awake in the middle of the night to silence in the cabin. The ruckus has stopped, and the door to the basement is ajar, its lock broken, and the table shoved out of the way.
Cool.
Where is she?
Thanks for helping me get out of that awful basement.
Oh, wow.
You try and stumble to your feet, but as the princess draws near, it's as though your body simply stops working.
Wow. I like this one.
It isn't all at once. The paralysis comes in waves. First your toes go numb, and then your feet, and then your legs. You lie prone on the floor of the cabin, unable to do anything but witness her approach. Whose side are you on? Yours, of course. But I have a duty to uphold the truth. Lying about the facts of the situation doesn't change them.
To uphold the truth. Yeah, the narrator hasn't lied. I think he's deceived us a lot, because he has a different goal than what the hero might have in mind. Obviously, considering we got trapped in the cabin in an endless void. But yeah, he hasn't lied, which is going to be interesting. It doesn't seem like he's lied anyway.
So helpless. I can take my time with you, can't I?
She steps closer, one silent footfall at a time, cocking her head in curiosity as you feel your organs shutting down one by one.
She is so cool.
Or maybe I can't take my time with you. You don't look well. A little green around the gills.
Oh, she's awesome.
What a shame. If you'd only helped me get out of here, we could have done such wonderful things together.
Your lungs stop drawing in breath, and your heart freezes in your chest.
Wow.
I'd say better luck next time, but we both know this is the end, don't we?
Except that it's
It
not.
can't be. This can't actually be how everything ends. I'm sorry, but it is. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Chapter 2, The Nightmare. Ooh.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path
The music
is a
does sound
cabin.
different, doesn't it?
And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
It feels like it has more of like a hollow sound, doesn't it? It's just me. Am I projecting? I feel like I hear like a hollow wind type current going through. This is really interesting. Oh, let's go.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna be a coward. She's gonna kill me again.
Again? People don't die twice. You haven't even met the princess, and I hardly think she'd be capable of killing someone as skilled and courageous as yourself.
I mean, you could say that, but I'm really playing the coward right now.
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. Shh. What if he hears us?
The paranoid.
That's a very good question, little voice. What if he does hear you? Shit. I think you'll find yourselves very hard-pressed to keep any secrets from me. Not that it matters right now, because like I said, this is the first time we've met. Still, I'd rather not get off on the wrong foot. We've a world to save, after all.
Trying to hold in my coughing. Oh, man. This little menthol is doing some help, but... Alright, let's assume I'm telling the truth, and all of this really did happen. What should I listen to? No, I'm gonna turn around and leave.
You have already committed to my completion.
Oh.
You cannot go further astray.
Alright, I thought maybe there was more that would open up because I have a paranoia voice. Well, because I'm paranoid, I think I would at least say something. Even though we've answered this quite a few times, let's see what else this opens
Those
up.
are two very different questions. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time. You died last time, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me. Oh, we listened to you all right. Worst decision of our incredibly short life. We tried to slay her, we really did, but she was gonna kill us. It was either lock her in the basement or let her finish beating us to death. Well then, congratulations. You've been given another chance to actually do this right. And your solution is to send us back in there. Do you want us to slay the princess, or do you want the princess to slay us? Obviously, I want you to slay her. One of you poses a threat to the world, and the other doesn't.
It just supports my hypotheses.
Anyways, I believe your other question was something along the lines of, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences. What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. We were killed by the princess, and now everyone's right back where they started. Sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Speak for yourself. From my perspective, there were plenty of consequences. I'm never going to forget the way she just made us stop working.
Yeah.
And that's only scratching the surface. If what you said is true, it begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or have you found yourself in another world altogether? If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died?
So the narrator has actually brought this up a few times and saying, oh, it's another world altogether. It's not. It's a continuation. It's still me. This world is still me, my old world. It just evolves because my memory is retained. If the narrator has not lied, his memory has never retained because he never gets to go with us to the beyond part. He just sees this world. He just sees things as they are every time I face them. Yeah, the narrator's really fading away, huh? I kind of feel bad, but that, if all of my hypotheses have been correct, that is part of life. There's a quote, the old things have passed away, all things have been made new. And that's part of growing up. As you meet new people, you evolve, you change, you grow. I'm not doing a TED Talk. I'm not. I'm explaining the game. This is not a TED Talk. Gosh. Oh, no. But yeah, it's just part of life. You know, sometimes you just need to let go. It doesn't mean that what once was never existed. I think, even though this is this game, and it's probably just going to be here in this world, I think, should the world end and we go beyond to a new world, a new voice to be my narrator and ideas. These are, again, from my own hypotheses, but if we were to do so, I think the narrator would still come back, whatever the narrator is, because it seems like the narrator is the closest voice to being just me, even though this version of me is faded. I think he would carry on as a memory, if that makes sense. Like, you can have, I don't know, the voice of the remembered or the nostalgic or the voice of the memory. It's not like just because you've left an old world and you never see it again, it's not like it never existed. It's not like it never had an impact or doesn't have an impact going forward. It's not like the memory of that doesn't still stay with you. Like, Unis Honest is no longer around. But it's not like it didn't impact us. And I think the narrator's afraid and thinks that everything that once was, being lost, being gone, being changed, being destroyed to get a new thing remade, get a new thing made, you know. I think he's afraid that he won't be himself anymore. I think he's the voice of me who's afraid to let go. And I think when I lose that fear of letting go and finally allow myself to evolve, I'll take that with me and it'll be okay. You know? Anyway, no TED Talks, no TED Talks, no TED Talks.
Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would? If she brought an end to everything and everyone, how are we supposed to stop her? What do you want from us? I want you to succeed. You'll find a way. You're the only one who can.
Let's talk about the princess.
Just be quick about it.
No, just being around her in the end shut down all of my organs. What the hell am I supposed to do with that? Yeah, I mean, great question. To quote you from last time, she's just a princess. How can you possibly justify saying that? She's clearly something far, far worse. You know, no. I will say, how the hell am I supposed to deal with that?
Like I said, if she killed you, it was probably because you didn't listen to me. Don't talk to her, don't trust her, just go in, do your job, and save the world.
is clearly something far, far worse. This is how my brain is thinking. I'm gonna go with it.
She is just a princess. Whatever you think happened to you last time, just get it out of your head before you get to the cabin, and you'll be fine.
The narrator knows that if it's in my head, I won't be fine. That's interesting. That's interesting. I like that. I think I'm pretty sure I made that answer choice before, and I think he said this same thing before, but it hits a little different now that I've done a whole bunch of like theorizing. This is really, really interesting. I use that word all the time. I need to stop. Who locked her in that basement? What is this place? You're being cagey. What aren't you telling
I've
me?
told you everything you need to know. Going into more detail would just overcomplicate an otherwise very simple situation and make your job more difficult.
It probably would. I mean, again, I don't think the narrator's lying here. The more that I know, or the more that I start to make conjectures, the more things get warped and strange and difficult for the narrator. But just, they get warped and strange. Yeah, he knows. He understands.
If you want us to stand a chance against her, we need to be armed with information. What is she really capable of? How are we supposed to stop her?
I'm pretty sure he knows how this world works.
Not to sound like a broken record, but the less you know about her, the better things will go for all of us. I know it sounds like I'm hiding something, but you're just going to have to take me at my word.
He's being real here.
He isn't telling us everything he knows because he doesn't trust us, which means that we can't trust him.
I mean...
Stop talking yourself in neurotic circles and just get to the cabin already. No, you should do anything but that. We know what's waiting for us in that basement.
Like, okay, I know when I first started this, I was just kind of exploring and I wasn't really sure who to trust. Then I got midway through and I was like, well, I don't trust the narrator, you know? But now I've come back to another... I think it's just... I care about the narrator, but the narrator needs to let go. Because I know that the narrator is being honest when he says, I want what's best for you. He also probably wants what's best for himself and wants to remain. But I think it's genuine. He genuinely cares. Just interesting. Okay. Who locked her up? I'm gonna explore some more. I want to hear what the paranoid says.
People locked her in that basement, and I told you what this place is. It's a path in the woods. Don't overcomplicate things.
If people locked her away, why couldn't they slay her?
Look, I'm not supposed to say this, but it's because you're special. You're the only person capable of doing this. Call it a prophecy, if that helps, but it's just the way things are.
I rolled my eyes at that the first time, and I still kind of roll my eyes because that's a thing that's a ploy that people use when they're being manipulative. But it is true. The entity A is specifically a special being who's the only one capable of eradicating her from this world. But I don't think he's going to succeed because we already made a pledge to her that we would, complete her. I'm curious what the ramifications of destroying myself versus destroying her at the end will do, or the possibility of not doing either of those. But I'm thinking about possibly destroying myself. But it depends, again, there's so much conjecture, there's so much speculation on my part, and I'm not 1,000% certain on what exactly the ramifications will be. I'm not the best at novels or visual novels, because I usually make an answer choice that I think means one thing, and they go, nope, and it means something completely different. And for that particular one, I would be thinking that destroying myself would help destroy this world so that we could have a new one. Not like actually offing myself. So I'm not sure yet. We need a few more runs in the end world or the beyond world or whatever.
You can't just goad us into doing something by calling us special. It's manipulative. Why are you trying to manipulate us?
The paranoid gets it. It is manipulative. It really is.
I don't know, I kinda like being special.
And that's also accurate.
Okay, fine. Maybe you can goad him into doing something, but he's not even the one who makes the decisions here.
Me and Paranoid. You know, I like all the voices.
I'm not goading you into doing anything. You already know the princess is dangerous. All I'm trying to say is that you have to be the one to deal with her. I know it doesn't seem fair, but that's just the way it is. And for what it's worth, I know you have it in you to finish the job.
Man, I'm really feeling for the narrator.
We don't.
I think I understand.
You saw what happened to us last time. We need to leave.
That's all.
Great. Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin.
Let's proceed to the cabin.
A warning before you go in. She will lie. She will cheat.
She will cheat.
I don't think lying and cheating is a thing. She was very direct with us last time. Or at least she was direct with us after we decided to lock her away. It doesn't matter. Don't trust anyone.
Well, hang on. Let's revisit. Let's backtrack. She will lie. She will cheat. And the narrator, let's say the narrator really doesn't lie. Let's say that he truly does not lie. Then that's honest. And if that's honest, what exactly are we dealing with, you know? Anyway, continuing. I think, honestly, you can just explain it away by there are different versions of her and they all do different things, and so the narrator technically is lying because
The interior of the cabin is plain, the smooth wood of the walls almost featureless. The only furniture of note is a lone table, knocked on its side in the corner of the room. A pristine blade stands between you and the open, inviting basement doorway.
Coo-choo-coo-choo-coo. I tickle your chin. Coo-choo-coo. I have problems, it's fine. Coo-choo-coo. 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 Kinda looked like I was picking your nose. Alright, let's see. Sorry, I was not paying attention. I was coochie-cooing. A pristine blade is between the blah, inviting with the door. Okay, got it.
The blade is your implement. Hold on. What happened to the door? There was a door here last time. It's just an empty frame. She's already gotten out, hasn't she? And she's ready for us. She's been waiting. Can't you feel her eyes on us?
I mean,
I'm
I
going
feel
to need
eyes.
all of you to pull yourselves together. The princess has not already gotten out. But if you keep getting stuck in your head like this, you're going to struggle to get the job done.
The narrator does understand. The narrator knows how this world works.
So deep breath
He
in,
just can't control it.
deep breath out.
Because he
Your
can't
task
control me.
awaits, and only you can do it.
He didn't say anything about the mirror on the wall. This whole cabin is different than I remember it being. I'll just say that.
Very different. I'm not the only one who sees her in the window, right? Calm down.
Oh, I didn't mean to hit the button.
Maybe the three of you just
Sorry.
think everything is different because you haven't been here before. Enough of this past life nonsense. You haven't died. You certainly haven't been killed by the princess. So focus up. A lot's riding on this.
Didn't say anything about the mirror on the wall.
You're right. I was so stuck on the eyes watching us that I didn't even notice it there. What are you two talking about? There isn't a mirror. There's a table, the blade sitting on the floor, and the open doorway leading to the basement. There's nothing else in here. There's definitely a mirror. There isn't. We have to look at it. Unless that's what he wants us to do. And pretending it isn't there is a trick to get us to do exactly what he wants.
I wanted to see how handsome I am.
We shouldn't waste time preening. But if he is lying about the mirror, it might be important. I'm not lying to you. Use your eyes. There is no mirror. Why would I lie about something so meaningless? What good would it even do? Maybe he's trying to keep us from looking because there's something horribly wrong with us. No, there isn't something horribly wrong with you. You look exactly how you're supposed to look. Now stop second-guessing my every word.
You look exactly how you're supposed to look. There's nothing wrong with you. I've been curious about that for a while. I've been wondering if the world we come from is one where this is legitimately what I look like. Instead of just a depiction of, I don't think I look beautiful. Because, honestly, I really love the design. So I just think he's cool, and I could totally see it being like a canon thing of like, I don't know, ogre was the word that came to mind, but like, the ogre and the princess is star-crossed lovers kind of thing, you know? But, I don't know, I'm really curious. Because then again, the narrator doesn't see the mirror, so the narrator could see us the way the narrator could see us differently than how we see us. I really think the narrator is the most in our corner out of everybody here. Which is sad because I do still believe that what has to happen is that we have to move on. This is interesting. I'm wondering where my brain will be by the end of this journey. I really am, because I can see me supporting the narrator or the princess. I can see either one of those as being the way I go at the end. I'm not sure where my brain will be at the end. This is really, really cool. I love this. Alright, approach the mirror, take the blade, or enter the basement. Well, the blade's not gonna do jack squat, in my opinion. Well, no wait, the narrator does say it's the only way to slay her. If you want to do this right. You know, the question I haven't asked is what is the blade? There's also probably a lot of other questions I haven't asked, but I haven't asked that question. It didn't even occur to me. What is the blade? I wonder if it is anything particularly deeper, or if it's just what we've produced from our mind. You know, specifically, this blade is the only way to do this right. Not anything else. You can't imagine yourself with a Kamehameha. The narrator doesn't try to make you imagine yourself with powers of some sort, which is something that could be completely feasible in this world. He says, this blade. Alright, we're gonna move on. I've spent long enough on this, and oh dear, I'm already about 50 minutes into this. Alright, approach the mirror. I'm gonna approach the mirror and I'll take a look.
Walk up to the wall next to the empty basement door frame. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny.
Wipe the mirror.
You reach forward and rub your
Just wanted to
hand
see if anything
against
would
the
be
cabin
different.
wall. I hope you... Did he make it go away? Clearly there was something in there worth investigating if he wants it hidden so bad.
We're gonna take the blade.
You reach down and pick the blade up off the floor. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Good. Steel can't lie to us.
Steel can't lie to us. Why does that stick out to me?
Is it gonna be enough, though? Couldn't you have given us something else? Something, I don't know, better than a knife?
Right. See,
Could we have a bomb?
that's what I'm thinking. Like, if you're in some imagination world, some depiction of your heart or something like that, where things keep changing and evolving according to what you believe. I mean, I fly in my dreams. I got powers. Fire. You know, I can do things. And of course, you know, being a somnambus, walking through dreams, that's a thing. So, like, there are things you can do. So you would think...
The blade is the only thing you need to finish your task. You're more than capable of pulling this off, so long as you don't lose faith in yourself.
Right. Alright, this goes back to my books, which, the ones that actually haven't been published yet, but there's some stuff still on my website. But in Alseer, they have faith rooms. I'm not sure. That's how I translated it into English. I might just use their words for it, but whatever. Right now, for stakes and purposes, I'm still calling it faith rooms. But basically, whatever you believe, you can manifest. And it's a battle of the mind as to who comes out of that place alive. It's really interesting. And this feels like that. In a way. This feels a lot like that.
Those are the words of someone who knows he's sending us to our death.
I'm glad I'm doing this path.
You cross
this
over the
far
threshold and onto a series of isolated steps, suspended in darkness.
This is really cool. My little eyes.
More eyes, too. You never mention the eyes. The air seeping up from below reminds you of fresh lightning and static, as if you're descending into a place that isn't meant for a creature of flesh and blood. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor.
Why does he say that every time? If the princess lives here. Not if the princess is kept here. If the princess is chained here. If the princess lives here. We get her out, the princess no longer lives there. Oh no, I feel like there's a train of thought you can go with that. I need to continue though because, wow, this episode is long. Continuing.
Her cruel and playful voice prances up the stairs.
I didn't think you'd come back. We're gonna have a lot of fun, you and I.
Okay, we need a game plan. Last time we were here, just being close to her was enough to kill us.
How hard is it to throw a knife? I want to talk to her. We don't need a plan. I'm just going to kill her. Mr. Narrator seems to think I can do it. I don't know why you're all being so pessimistic. I want to do that one. Step off into the void between the two. Ooh, I want to do that one too. Continue down the stairs inside. Oh no! Hang on. We're gonna save. I want to make a whole bunch of other answer choices, probably in my own time, but I want to step off into the void. Ooh, I'm so curious, but I really want to do this one for this run. I want to step up into the void. Alright, I want to honestly do all the endings, but I know that there's a lot. There is so many paths that I can tell are going to be here, and I don't want things to get boring and you guys have to see, like, the whole thing. So I may do one episode when I have time. Once my second novel is fully written, I may come back to this and do all the other endings I don't get to do. So I'm probably going to come back to this save file and see what stepping off into the void is and all this other stuff. So we will do all of it. For now, I'm just going to do like some big main paths and then I'll come back and do all the rest. We might even finish it on a stream if you guys are into it. I don't know if you guys will be, because it will be a while down the road. I have to finish novel number 2. It has to be done, and it's just going to be too much editing for me to do it all in one of these videos. That's a lot to edit through. I have to play all through it, and then I have to find it. Yeah, that's going to be too much. But let's go ahead and see what happens with this, because this is the path I want to go.
Finally, a voice of reason. You know why I'm being a pessimist. I'm just asking questions. You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. As you emerge, you
cool.
find yourself between 2 loose rows of white wooden planks suspended in nothingness. A smattering of cobblestones visible against the inky black of the basement mark where the floor should be, forming vague pathways. At what seems to be the end of the room, they diverge in opposite directions, left and right. She could be anywhere, and there's nowhere for us to hide. We're completely exposed. Are you really not going to comment on how weird this place is? No, I'm not. I'm going to die down here. I don't want to die again.
Are you really not going to comment on how weird this place is? No, I'm not. Wow, you know, I'm really siding with Narrator a lot on how to deal with this.
Please stop saying that. You're only going to make things worse. Just pick a direction and start moving.
I wouldn't give it too much thought if I were you. It doesn't really matter, because either way you go, I'm going to find you.
Let's go left.
You turn to the left. A faintly outlined path lies before you.
There you are.
Oh.
I told you I was going to find you.
Kinda reminds me of Baby. She looks like a doll. She's got like the big eyes, and then it looks like tears going down her face, or like little blush cheeks or something. So it just reminds me of Circus Baby, or well, it just reminds me of Baby.
As the princess approaches, your
I
legs
love this.
suddenly go numb.
Oh, she's beautiful. I love this design. I also love dolls. Like you see behind me. Hang on, pointing this direction. I have like up on top of my dresser. There's like a whole bunch of dolls. Yeah, I love dolls. I do collect them.
Your arms quickly follow. This is it, isn't it?
And you brought your little knife with you again. Cute.
Huh. This is really interesting.
There has to be a way out of this. Think! What did you do? Pull yourself together. She isn't supposed to be like this.
I wonder how many times I'll get to play with you before you break.
As your blood begins to coagulate, it's as if every part of your being is coming to a lurching halt. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves. Your lungs pull in a desperate gulp of air as your eyes shoot back open. Heart, lungs. What are you doing? I'm working? Do you want this body to function, or do you want... And then experience stops once more as your body reapproaches death. Okay, whatever you were doing, please just start doing it again.
That is really interesting. That is really interesting. Focus on being alive and I would be alive. That is really interesting.
Are you sure about that? Are you sure that's what you want, or do you want to interrupt me some more? You have seconds left. Yes, I'm sure. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves. Again, your eyes shoot open as you gasp for breath. Nerves, heart.
Can't decide what you want to do, can you? Oh well, standing there gasping like a fish is more fun than dead. Even if you look ridiculous.
She isn't attacking us. Why? The why doesn't matter. She's already proven her ill intent. Don't lose sight of your mission. Your weapon is still in your hands. Strike at her and end this before it's too late.
Why won't you finish me off? Toss the blade and remain with your nightmare. Oh, that's really interesting. Actually, I'm gonna slay the princess.
Your will concentrates into a single fine point, and you strike out against the princess, ignoring the constant reminders of your breaking body. She doesn't even move as the blade sinks into her heart. We did it. We actually did it.
You actually went for it! Oh, you're going to regret this. I could be so much more terrible for you than I am now.
Can she?
I kind of want to see that. I love her design. Ugh, this is so good.
We've already seen how she can change heart, lungs, liver, nerves.
You're not getting those stairs back. I'll see you when you finally decide to die.
She falls to the ground, unmoving.
Stuck in a dream without a stair to be seen. House of no leaves. That was cute. I like that name. Clever. You guys are clever. I like you guys. I'm talking to the devs.
Oh. I can stop now, can't I?
Ooh. Hang on a second. Now can't I? Yes. Okay, let's see.
I can. Finally. And now that she's gone, you can let us out of here. Right? But she was the one who controlled this place, wasn't she? And now she's dead. I don't like to think what that means for us. It means that you're stuck here. Forever. Oh, no. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no, I hate this. Time passes. Forever's gonna end. Eventually, right? No, it won't. That's the whole point of forever. It doesn't end. I feel sick. It doesn't have to be forever, though. Does it? What do you mean? We still have a way out, clutched in our hands. Are you suggesting we kill ourselves? Won't we be dead? I guess that hasn't stopped us before. That's a terrible idea. You've already saved the entire world from ruin. Why would you want to die?
You know, there's a possibility that I could remake this world. That is a possibility. Like, instead of just destroying this world and moving on, there is a possibility of reviving the world instead of being in an endless void. Like, the issue is the endless void part. If I eventually come up with something better than just destroying everything or destroying myself in order to move on, and I instead add more color to my world on my own. The issue is that I don't think I can. And if I can't, then what needs to be slayed is a narrator. I think what actually really needs to happen is both the narrator and the princess need to be incorporated into me. Because every time I slay her, I end up slaying myself. Because I can't remain here. I stagnate. And if that simply is facts, that simply is facts. And that's something that, as much as the narrator might not want, we would have to get over. I don't know. We're going to continue. I've been running too long.
Because right now, You don't want us to do that. You're right, I don't. But if we've already saved the world, then why does it matter if we die? Why do you care? I just do. I value life. Every life. Even yours. Especially yours.
I believe that.
Why? What do you mean, why? I think it's perfectly reasonable to value life. Exactly. I don't have to answer that.
Are you stuck here with us, or are you capable of going other places? Are you stuck here with us, or are you capable of going other places? I want to ask this because I want to see where his...
I'm stuck here with you. I wish I weren't. Feelings mutual. At least we're all being honest.
I get it. You don't want us to die because you'd be lonely. How sweet. You know, I'm really just answering this because I want to see what he says.
Unlike you, I'm not capable of being lonely.
That's a very interesting answer.
Oh, sure you are. Give it some time without us and I'm sure you'll start feeling lonely.
That's a very interesting answer. It makes sense, and yet it opens up a lot of thought. I'm not going to follow that right now. I'm going to continue. It's not like it matters if I die. I'll just come back. I want to see what he says.
Ah yes, the whole looping thing. How unfortunate. You were only supposed to be here once.
What happens if you start this game entirely over, like entirely from scratch, and start this game, and you follow the narrator's instructions the very first time, you don't deviate at all? Does it truly end the game? I mean, it'd be really cool if it did. It'd be really interesting if it did. Because then it says you've entered the Slay the Princess, the real game, or whatever, after you've done some things and then you go off into the other dimension or the other side or whatever. If you don't do that ever, like at all, I'm very curious, because this game is smart enough that it could have set that up. To be like, the end. You completed your task. It'd be really cool if they did that.
I don't like the way you said that. You knew this was a possibility, didn't you? Of course I did. Though I'd rather hoped I was the first one. That explains a lot, though. Oh, you bastard. How much are you not telling us? Plenty. But it's all in your best interest. And the world's. And mine.
I believe that.
She's dead and we're stuck in a hell void forever. How could telling us your secrets possibly hurt anyone? It just can. Look, this world is saved, but if you start over, for all you know, you're just putting another world in danger. You barely managed to land the killing blow here. What if you don't manage it next time?
And again, I have been going through a whole bunch of assumptions. Is she getting darker? Anyway, I've been going off a whole bunch of assumptions that this is like the world of the mind or something. But what if for real these are a whole bunch of actual other worlds? You know? And I am actually legitimately messing with them and leaving them to whatever state. I like this game.
I've already said too much, really. You won't get another word out of me on the subject.
I want another word out of you at the subject. Can you tell me your secrets now? What about now? How about now? Can you tell me now? What about now? Alright.
That's a grim thought, innit?
Yeah, I mean, I'm biology.
But I suppose you're right. You are a creature of biology. Something will happen to you before forever comes along.
Yeah,
We don't have to starve to death. You have our way out. Use it.
And yet, in one of the runs, I was there for apparently eons because, like, she was bones. But I've got the best company in the
Boy,
world.
you could do a lot better than us. Exactly. You'll be fine here. Just come up with a game or something to pass the time.
Can you tell me your
No.
secrets now? No. I can actually say that! I can actually do it! Oh! I'm so happy! How about that?
Still no.
I'm gonna wear you down eventually. You might as well spill your sweet, sweet secrets now. We'll have something else to talk about.
You're not going to wear me down. Oh, we should ask him one more time. He's on the cusp of sharing his secrets. I can feel it. I'm not.
Yeah, you
Either
are.
way, at least needling him is something to do.
I mean, we
The
got
narrator
time.
ignores you.
The
You can't just describe yourself ignoring us. I can. The
Secret?
narrator continues to ignore you.
Uh-huh. No! I want to ask for my secrets. No! Okay, guys, I have to end this here because I have already well beyond time, like an hour and 12 minutes of recording, and I'm gonna try to get this down to the 40-minute mark like I've been doing. I was hoping we would go into the other world before the end of this, but this is where this episode ends on this beautiful image right here. Isn't it lovely? I just love it. I love this game. Feel free to mention which choices you would have preferred me to take. Okay, well, we will continue this next time. Love you guys bunches, and I hope you're enjoying Pinstripe, because I will be playing so much more of that. Stay gorgeous, people. Mwah.